Hey everyone, today's video is going to be a little bit quicker. We're going to be comparing the performance of BIOS 334 to 335 on the ROG Ally. I'm currently running the latest AMD driver for the Ally, which is 23.10.2. As usual, all results are based on 3 test averages. We'll start off first with Timespy and Geekbench. Looking at the Timespy results, the chart looks like there's a dramatic difference, but there really isn't. It's only 3 points, so there's really not a difference at 15 watt. And then at 30 watt, you can see the same thing. There's just a slight decline on 335 of 4 points, so nothing too dramatic here. And then looking at Geekbench 6, the CPU score at 15 watts, you can see they're fairly similar, but there is a slight, very small advantage here for the 335. And then taking a look at 30 watt, you can see pretty well the same thing, just a small advantage for 335, but nothing that's really significant. And now moving on to the GPU scores, so at 15 watt, you can see that there's an advantage for 335. Don't be deceived by the graph, it's not actually that dramatic, it's only like 30 points again. And as you can see at 30 watt, same thing, there's a slight advantage for 335. You can see that the synthetic benchmarks are pretty much the same, so let's take a look at some games. First up is Forza Horizon 5. This is medium settings, 1080p with FSR off, and we're going to start with 15 watts. You can see that the results are very similar, but there's a slight advantage for 334. The results are so close that I wouldn't worry too much about the performance difference. And then looking at 30 watt, you can see pretty well the same thing. There's like a 1 frame advantage for 334 over 335, but you're not really going to notice that while you're actually playing the game. Now we'll take a look at Forza Motorsport, and you can see that it's even more close than it was for Forza Horizon 5. There's literally a 0.1 difference here. So this one really is down to just the margin of error. And then taking a look at 30 watt, you can see that there's about a half a frame advantage for 335. So again, very similar results. Now taking a look at Starfield at 15 watts, you can see the results are pretty well the same. There's only a 0.2 frame difference for the average. And then at 30 watt, there's a very slight advantage for 334 by about a half a frame, so nothing really substantial. Now we'll take a look at Cyberpunk at 15 watts, and you can see that there's a very slight advantage for 334, but it's again very minimal. There's a 0.5 frame advantage for the average. And then moving over to 30 watt, you can see the same thing, just a very slight advantage for 334. It's like a 0.6 frame advantage for the average here. Next we have God of War, so we'll take a look at the 15 watt results, and you can see a small advantage for 334 with a 0.4 frame advantage. And then looking at 30 watt, you can see that it actually flips and we get the advantage for 335 by about 1 frame. Overall though, I would say it's pretty well the same performance. And our last game is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and as you can see at 15 watts, the performance is pretty well identical. There's a 0.1 frame difference, which is just a margin of error. And then at 30 watt, you can see it's running pretty well the exact same, so there's no actual performance difference here. So to summarize, the performance difference is pretty well the same. There isn't really any changes, positive or negative, between the two, but this is important to test because in the past we have had BIOS updates either tank or improve performance, so it's good to check it when these things come out. After I had finished benchmarking, there actually was a changelog that was released, and it seems that it actually fixes a bug that was from 330, where there was some unexpected throttling. Now, I haven't really experienced the throttling, but for those that have, this may be worth picking up. And for those that have been waiting to see if the BIOS was safe to update, it seems that you're good to go. It's not going to have any tank on your performance. Let me know in the comments if these videos are helpful to you, and also what other games would you like to see benchmarked. I'm looking to add maybe 1 or 2 and maybe switch some out. And that's going to wrap it up for this video, so I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.